What is up, everybody? My name is Whooped. In this video, we're going to be checking out a game sent in by a friend of the channel, Fab4. He wants to know what grade he deserves, and we're going to be judging his performance with brutal honesty. At the end of the match, we're going to assign him a grade based on these 6 categories and compare it to what he gave himself to see if he's graded in reality or lost in the sauce. Alright, so Fab is blue, and he's Giant Specialist. Started with Stormcallers and Arclights, and then his opponent is red, Cost Control, started with Spiders and Crawlers. So Fab's immediately coming out with this this aggro Stormcaller. You know, if your opponent has Stormcaller, Arclight, Crawler, you definitely don't think it's gonna be aggro, but here we are. The disrespect from just being so aggro like this. All right, so his opponent started out with 2 marksmen, probably not ideal. So Fab is 1700 and his opponent is 1650 MMR. Yeah, this isn't going to be good, that's for sure. For his opponent, it's going to be great for Fab. Spider's putting in some work, but it's not enough. Likely going to die before it can get any more kills. Yep. It's actually quite a bit of damage being taken off. Storms can add up. Alright, let's see what Fab goes with here. Underground Threat, Rhino Assault improved. He goes with the improved firepower control system. Interesting. I'm curious as to who he puts this on. You know, Fab could have took the Rhino drop right here and then put an arc light in this corner. And then the Crawlers would have went this way, right? And the Spider. And then the Rhino would have went and took the tower. Could have done it on this side as well. Alright, so this guy dropped the Rhino over here. Fortunately for Fab, Crawlers were there. Who got the improve? Ooh, gave it to the Stormcaller. I like that. Yeah, so this round is not looking good for Fab. Just too much chaff to deal with. Allowed his marksman to get hits on his arc lights, and that was that. Alright, so his opponent took Sandworm. Fab takes Sabertooth. That is a good response, knowing that Sandworm is available. His opponent's not likely to take Phoenix because he already has Marksman, although it still is an option, especially because Fab doesn't have any anti-air. But Fab took the Sabertooth. It's going to be great against the Spiders, great against a potential worm. Of course, he doesn't know it's there yet. Oh, 2 worms. His opponent's dropping 2 worms. Wow. Fab opting for Marksman. Okay. Just in case the Phoenix was dropped, maybe? To be honest, I think you have to take your chances there. I'm not sure Marksman was the play. Unless it's just something that he wants to be part of his core composition anyway. If he dropped it for the Phoenix, I'd say probably not the best idea. And if he didn't drop it for the Phoenix, then I'd say, you know, that's good that he's following with his plan. Man, that Saber putting in some work already. 76,000. Just eating worms. That has to be so unfortunate for the opponent there. And what a difference, honestly. It'll be interesting to see what he picks here, because I'm not sure the game's going to last that long where super supply enhancement's going to be coming in handy. Interesting. That's going to take a little bit of the wind out of his sails right now, or at least for a couple rounds, but then it'll, you know, catch back up, of course. So Fab opted for range on his arc lights. That is an interesting decision. He still doesn't have any upgrades on his towers. He's behind his opponent in upgrades for sure. He went for range on his arc lights. He dropped another Sabertooth. So I think his chaff development is lacking a little bit. He's not really taking advantage of any of the flanks. His tower's a little weak right now. It's a little interesting to go for range too, because he's so close already. If anything, I'd put range on the Saber because that's his DPS. Huh. Ooh, he has a problem though. Let's see what Fab takes. Portable shield. Okay, I like that. I think that's a good call. His opponent has the rating, potentially level 2 with improved. That's a big deal. I'd like to see his opponent sell out up the worm. If you're Fab, you have to expect him to sell out. Not that it's going to really change anything because your Saber's right here anyway, but as his opponent, I'm not sure Raiden is the play just because Sabers are pretty tanky and they can soak up a lot of the damage. You know, they can sit there for a while before the Raiden will actually kill him. So he's going to need some sort of additional DPS here if he wants to contend with Fab going forward. If you're Fab, so he got his tower to level 2, I think that's good, but he's still lacking upgrades. You know, by round 5, you should at least be 1-1 on attack and defense enhancement. Not always, but at least, you know, that's the goal. I do like that he got anti-air on his marksman. He's adding some more chaff, which is good. He elite recruited a single marksman. You know, with marksman, anti-air actually makes them viable at level 1. So I'm not really sure the 100 cost is going to make up for the economic hit. The difference between a level 1 and level 2. Seeing how he won that easily anyway. Yeah, so far this game is trending towards Fab's direction for sure. It's only 7 rounds. Yeah. Alright, let's see what he takes. EMP. So not orbital. That is very interesting. You know, if I'm being completely honest, I don't even think you need to take off the tech on these, the Raiden. They're not really a threat at all, especially with your marksman. But, you know, if you want to take EMP, I'm not going to fault you for that. Putting a Saber over here is a fine choice. You know, you might want to put a marksman over here as well, because you can expect him maybe to put down a Raiden. Okay, so you actually teched into range on the marksman as well. That's expensive. That is expensive. I don't fault you for that, but I will say that I'm not entirely sure you needed the range, just because I think they're already in range with aerial. But I think it's a good move overall. You know, long-term investment, you could put more down. And you could put more down and stagger him a little bit. All right, let's see what you choose. Your opponent is crazy if he goes Wraith or Overlords. Just saying. Wait, you go Wraith? Over the Scorpion? Nah, but in all honesty, you know, your chaff clear situation isn't the greatest. It's okay. You know, you have 4 Arclights. Really 3 Arclights over here, but you know, adding the Wraith is definitely going to help with that. All right, so you borrowed and paid the range tax. That's good. You still don't have 1-1 upgrades. Your tower's only a level 2. Very, very susceptible to being taken. I don't know why your opponent's not hitting this side with Raidens. I like the missile. That's good. Ooh, your opponent put down some shielded wasps. That's interesting. Right in front of Wraith. That is so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate, honestly. Oh, man. That was a good game. The fact that you threw down the Wraith and he threw down the shielded wasp right in front of him, I mean, that is just comedy gold right there. Oh, wow. And you got EMP on your marksman. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. I thought your chaff situation was pretty decent. I think your chaff clear was a little bit lacking. You only really had the 3 arc lights. I do like the fact that you picked up the Wraith. I think that was a really good move. And that helps a lot with chaff clear, obviously. I don't know if you planned on him going wasps, like if you anticipated that or not. If you did, you're an absolute genius. And if you didn't, then it's just hilarious. But either way, it ended up working out for you. Upgrade wise, you only got this tower to level 2. This one's still unupgraded. You didn't get attack 1 enhancement. You didn't get defense 1 enhancement. You know, that's pretty big right now that you didn't get those by round 7, especially. I think your opponent is crazy for not upgrading his towers. You know, they're super exposed, just like yours were. I don't know what you guys were doing. You had like a gentleman's agreement not to attack each other's tower, but hey, if it works. I thought you did a good job with unit upgrades. You upgraded the Stormcallers. I think that's a good job. Arclights, you know, marksmen, sabers. I thought you did a really good job with those. Your card selection was terrible because you passed on the Scorpion, so I have to dock you 100 points for that. No, but for real, I do like the fact that you took the Wraith. I thought that was a beautiful move. As far as tech goes, I think you needed to tech something on your sabers. With that being said, going against a Vulcan, going against Tarantulas, you know, I would have liked to see at least something on the Sabertooth, even if it was field maintenance. And I think only having 3 marksmen, yet having 3 techs by round 7, like that's you know, that's a lot. I'm not entirely sure you needed the 3rd tech on your marksman after only having 3 of them. I do like the fact that you develop your marksman. I'd like to see more of them. Economy wise, I think you borrowed at the appropriate times. You didn't really have any wasted resources tied up in units that weren't part of your winning condition, right? You know, everything is sabers, arclights, marksman, your chaff, basically. The deployments that you took from the card selections, the Wraith, ended up being, you know, vital to your success. And so I'd say you don't have any wasted resources on the board. But I will say that the amount of tech you put into the marksman for only having 3 is a little bit inefficient. So I still think you get a really good grade for economy, but I'm going to dock you just a little bit for putting so much into one unit so fast. Composition wise, I think you did a good job. You know, marksman, Arclights, Wraith, Stormcallers, Sabers, Chaff. I would have liked to see a little bit more Arclights and Marksman based on a 1700 MMR player and being extra strict because you didn't take the Scorpion. For abilities, card selection, and temporary assets, I give you a 14 out of 15. Chaff and Chaff Clear, I give you a 10 out of 15. I thought your chaff situation was decent, but you could have had better Chaff Clear for sure. For composition, I'm going to give you a 12 out of 15. I thought overall it fit pretty well together. Your economy was phenomenal. I'm going to give you a 14 out of 15. For tech and upgrades, I'm going to give you an 11 out of 15. I thought you did a really good job making sure that the units were upgraded, but you didn't upgrade the tower enough and you missed out on the enhancements. For game awareness and your X Factor score, I'm going to go ahead and give you a 19 out of 25. With all that being said, your final score is 80 out of 100, which gives you a B-. The grade you gave yourself is a C-. You, my friend, are lost in the sauce because you are too hard on yourself. You did a great job and it was an awesome win. Let me know in the comments what you think his grade should be and why. And if you'd like to have your replay graded with brutal honesty, you can do so by filling out the form found in the description. If you enjoyed the content, consider liking, subscribing, or joining the channel as a member. I'm Whooped. Thanks for watching.
This is Mechabellum, and it's going down. Whooped.